Okay, boys and girls, here we go. Practice 2 of Chapter 18, Math. Questions 1 and 2. Does Figure A show a flip of Figure B? Yes or no? So I look at Figure A, and it's an arrow that goes up and to the right, correct? Well, if I look at B, it's the same exact thing. So it hasn't done anything. It hasn't flipped, because what you're basically doing is you're taking figure A, we'll say that this here's figure A, okay? And we're going to flip it. So flip it over. Is that the same thing? Well, you can kind of see how it's flipped over. So we're going to flip it right over where that line is. You see in the middle right here between A and B. And if I flip that over, it's the same exact thing for A and B. So for number 1, no, it does not show a flip. Now B, I'm going to use my arrow here kind of as my helper. That's going to be my little arrow. If I flip it, now my arrow's pointing that way, right? So A and B for number 2 are, that does show, yes, it does show a flip. Now 3 and 4, so the flip again is this way, right? There's your flip. For 3 and 4, it's asking us a slide. So, you want to think of it as like slide to the right, slide to the left. It goes back and forth like that. Okay? So, number 3, does that show a slide? Well, figure 3, it looks like there's a circle here, and all they really did was go like this. That's not a slide. Okay? That's a turn. It was like this, and they went like that. That's a turn. So for 3, that's a no. Now 4, it has the 2 lightning bolts, okay? So we're going to pretend this is the bottom of our lightning bolt, and all they did is move it over to here. And the lightning bolt is facing the same exact way. So for 4, yes, that does show a slide. Figure 5 and 6, does figure E show a turn of figure F? So again, the turn is on this point right here, and here's our lightning bolt, okay? Here, I'm just going to borrow that. There's our lightning bolt pointing down that way, and now I'm going to turn it, and I'm just going to keep turning, and now our lightning bolt is turned and facing us still. So that does show a turn. Okay, that's a yes for number 5. Number 6, does this figure show a turn? This is where I have a little problem with the book, because the book says that, yes, this does show a turn. Now, I made my little H here, okay? And I'm showing you can kind of see the H right there, right? And there's the circle part right down here where it shows the turn. So does it show a turn? Well, if I go like that, does that show the turn? It's above the circle, but over here it's below the circle. Let me go like this. Now does it? No, because now my H is going this way. Let me keep turning it. Now does it? Well, no, because the H is on that side of the turn. Okay, so it should be like what it has, for an example, is this. Right? It's showing us that it did that. But when we do our turn on that spot, it's not the same. So I am going to say that I feel that the answer book is wrong. 6 does not show a turn. What it does is it kind of takes it, okay? It does a turn, but then it also does a flip. So it kind of does 2 different actions on that one. Okay? If you answered yes, I would accept it, because that's what the book says. I just don't think it's correct. Flips, slides, and turns are movements that change the position of figures, but not their shape or size. So, look at the pairs of figures, identify and explain which pair is congruent and which is not. The example, there's a hexagon and a pentagon. The 2 shapes are not congruent because they do not have the same shape. They have to be the same shape and size. They could be turned all around, right? They could be turned whichever way, but they have to be the same size. So figure 7, what we're going to do with that one is is this. Are they congruent? Are they the same size? Yes, they are. Okay? And for example, I'm just going to go like this here with our pre-made H's. So we did have that, right? And I'm going to go up. I'm just going to do the same thing there. Feel free to just ignore the writing that's on there, right? So one's pointing up, kind of like that, and the other one's like that. Now, are they the same size? Yes, they are. They are congruent. They're just maybe turned or flipped, right? Maybe the combination, but they are the same. You can set one on top of the other, and it's the same size. Basically, that's what it said, that when they're congruent, they're going to be the same size. Number 8, the figures are blank because why? Well, they look almost congruent, right? But when I'm looking at it, this one over here looks just a little bit longer, and it has this little turn, like a page flip turner kind of thing. So for 8, that is, they are not congruent because they are not the same size. Number 9, circle the pairs of congruent shapes, 9, 10, and 11. So 10 is congruent. We have one is up and down like that right there. The other one, same exact size, but over here. So 9 is congruent. 10, they are not the same size. They're both circles, but they're not the same size. Same as 11. They are both triangles, but one is larger than the other. 12, circle the congruent figures. So it has to be the same size and shape as this. Well, that is not the same size and shape. That is not. It's smaller. Same shape. It's a pentagon. That's a pentagon. But they're not the same. This is a hexagon, so that's not that one. This one is the same size and shape. It's just turned a little. Okay? And let's look at 13. Here's our arrow. That looks a little bigger than this one. That looks a little smaller. That one looks a little bigger. This one looks like it's the same exact one. It's just flipped down or turned, rotated. 13, draw congruent figures. Trace the shape, cut it out, so on and so forth. I'm just going to pretend that this is that shape right there. All you do is you're going to draw the same exact shape, but you're just going to slide it over. Okay? Again, same exact size shape, you just slide it over. So 15, same exact size shape, you just draw the same exact thing in the box to the right. Circle a figure that shows a flip. Now this one is where we need to have the flip piece. So you're going to go from a regular S, okay? So if this here is the regular S, like that, but if I flip it, and I don't know if I can quite, it's going to kind of go like, there, I tried to copy it. So this goes from here to here. So which one looks closest to this? Not that one, okay, because that is the same. This one, it is, but it's turned, right? The middle one, see it's turned. It does resemble that backwards S, but it's turned on its side. This one is the same. It's just flipped from here to here, right? Or from here to there. There we go. The triangle. Just a flip. Well, this is the same exact thing right here, right? That's a slide. If you remember, that was called the slide. It was from here to here, okay? And the up and down one, the middle one, that was the turn from here to here, okay? But the flip, it's going the other way, right? Again, the flip kind of takes it from here to here. That's a flip, all right? And 18, again, the book says this is the flip. But to me, this edge is a little higher than this, like this edge, right? And this one's a little lower. That's a little top. That's a little top. Oh, they just won the Millionaire, the cases and stuff. If you remember that game, they're millionaires. If it were just real. So here we go. There's the side. There's the side. It says this is the answer. That just looks like it's a slide to me. It looks like they just slid it from here to here. And I think what happened is it's the way this is printed off. And I think that's kind of why they put that. I think this is about the closest one. They would have just had to flip it upside down. But that's a really tough one. The answer key says that is your flip. I just don't understand how they flipped it. Maybe someone can share with me. 19, 20, 21. Now we're doing the turn. So again, if we look at the letter P for the first one here, okay, and I'm going to use this here as there we go. And so here's our regular P, okay? Now, a turn isn't going to go backwards like we did with our S's. It's not going to give us a backwards P. So right away, this one is turned, but it's also flipped, right? It's not just rotated, or turned, because it's a backwards P. This is a backwards P. This is a flip. See that? It's just flipped. It went from here to here. But this one, bing, there we go. We have the upside down P, and that is our answer. I'm going to do the same thing here with our letter L. Okay. And for our letter L, I'm going to use that, and then that. So for our letter L, I'm going to jump past K and go to 21 quick. Here's our L, right? And remember, we're trying to turn it, so we got to turn this way, but it's still going to look like an L no matter how we do it, right? It's still going to be the L, so it's going to be the middle one for 21. And let me jump back here to K now. So we're going to go do. And they kind of have a different looking K like that. And this one comes all the way down. So it kind of looks like that, right? Roundabout way. So let's look at the number 2, or the one here. That's a flip. Okay? That's flipped upside down like that. The second one in the middle, I don't know if I can flip it upside down. Well, no, because the K's going that way. The line is still the same. That was just another kind of wonky thing. But let's look at this K over here. And I still see this line of the K right there. So all we did is went like from here to here. So for 20, that is our answer. All right, boys and girls, way to go. We got another few pages. Practice 2. Next time, practice 3. It looks like we have some symmetry. All right. That was one of my favorites teaching kindergarten, the symmetry. You can do the butterfly. Remember that? Oh, so cool. All right, boys and girls, till next time.